And welcome to the latest Denver real estate market update. It's the third week of October. Headlines are not disappointing. The market is giving us something to talk about. And I have a really important question because we had something wild happen over this last weekend, and we're really scratching our heads wondering what the heck is going on in the market out there. So, as I said, the third week of October, things this time of year generally start to slow down to a snail's pace. You get a couple of showings trickling in every single week, and this kind of keeps up until roughly about the end of the year. New Year hits, people start coming out of the woodworks again. But man, interest rates have just been soaring. We topped 8% this week. We've declined just a little bit in the last day or two, but that's going to be the headlines you see out there soon is real estate mortgages hitting 8%, making homes more and more unaffordable. But it's also making sellers less and less likely to put their home on the market. Playing the same record here, ladies and gentlemen. But look at some of these headlines here, real quick. And this is the stuff that I realize that you're seeing out there on a daily basis. Over on CNN, why the housing market is going from tough to terrible. And on one hand, yes, they're absolutely right. But on the other hand, you got to remember the more people click on this stuff, the more they read it, the more they watch and consume, the more that they get paid, right? So, how bad is it actually out there? Well, if you can afford a home right now, it's actually not bad. It's actually a fairly good time to negotiate things like seller concessions and on price adjustments and things like that. But I will just wait here. I'm going to show you a couple that has made me rethink what in the world is going on out there. So that's CNN. Then we have this on Kevin O'Leary and, him talking about the commercial real estate landscape and despair's warning of chaos to come. Now, I'm not going to disagree here. Commercial real estate isn't my jam. It's not something that I am super involved with. It's a different beast altogether. And, I have seen some really alarming things on commercial real estate, but how does that affect us day to day? I mean, it's not like, that's going to loosen up the supply of homes and all of a sudden make it easier to buy. So, it is what it is. Pay attention to it. Maybe it has a trickle down sort of effect. And then Redfin stock falling 14%. I don't exactly understand why a real estate company is, a publicly traded stock. It doesn't seem like that's in the best interest of most people out there. We have a fiduciary duty to our clients. And I feel like going public with your name kind of puts you more into the category of maybe an insurance company, someone who's supposed to have your best interest at heart. But in reality, we know it's just all about the profits. And with the real estate market closings consistently shrinking, right? We're way down in closings across the board, across the country. And we have real estate agents going back looking for typical 9 to 5 sort of work every single day, take it on real estate part-time. And, for their stock to drop 14%, you know what? The whole stock market is dropping right now. It doesn't know what the heck to do. So again, not overly surprised there, but these are the scare tactic headlines out there. So what's really going on? Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of scenario that we experienced this last weekend specifically, and I would love to get your input on it because there's only one way we could find kind of our brains to be comfortable with what the heck happened. So this last weekend, we had 2 listings go live. Okay, price points 600, 6.25. Now I understand that no 2 neighborhoods are created equally. No 2 houses are exactly the same. Everyone's got a different view. It doesn't exactly matter. And these were in different parts of town. However, the finish level was very similar. And there are some differences in square footage, of course, the location, but they're both in great parts of town. One is in Broomfield and one is in Arvada. And this is what happened. So let me show you these houses first, and let me give you the stats of them. Then I'm going to tell you what happened, because it's kind of wild. So let's go to the MLS here. So I'm going to show you one. This is 12501 Alcott Street. And if you don't know where this is in Broomfield, okay? So this is kind of in between 36 and I-25, north of, 287 120th, kind of in the heart of Broomfield, right? Nice neighborhood, homes sell from anywhere from the mid fives to the mid to upper sevens, depending on how big it is. Lots of trails around here. Like, it's just a nice area, right? And as far as the actual home is concerned, it's a 2-story with a 3-car garage, okay? And it is, what is it, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, on an 8,400 square foot lot, 2,900 square feet. So it's not a small house, but it's also not a monster, right? So looking through it, it looks decent on the outside, decent landscaping, but it's not done to the nines. It's still 6.25 in the Denver metro area, which, if you know the Denver metro area, that's not exactly expensive. Inside, new flooring, new paint, new carpet. It's been staged well. New doors throughout, like new kitchen, new baths. So yes, it has been updated, okay? And white shaker cabinets, black poles, stainless steel appliances. Like, this is what everybody wants, right? This is what 80% of buyers out there want. Now, what made this one a feature that kind of stood out was going to be the primary bathroom, right? We went a little bit further on this one to the full 5-piece bath, stand-up shower, nice deep tub in it. So the primary bathroom looks nice. But for this neighborhood, what's interesting, and the backyard looks nice too. Like, it's landscaped very well. So it's done to the homeowner level, but I'm not going to say it's crazy overdone. So let me pull up a map, and I'm going to show you comps real quick, okay? So this is at Midway and Federal. And this is what we look at before we price a home to kind of see, like, all right, where are we falling at pricing-wise? How are things going to look? And this is our neighborhood here. So it's not a very big footprint, okay? And I want to pull up everything active, under contract, closed in the last 6 months, single family residence. That pulls up 17 matches, okay? So when we look, and we'll see ours at 625, so 2,900 total square feet. We usually like to stay within 20% square footage when pulling comps. So we have active properties here. We got this one at 610 on Big Dry Creek over here, and it's another 2-story with a 2-car garage. Updated flooring, looks like they painted it throughout. Not an updated kitchen, so not done nearly as nicely, but it's also 610, right? And so we were looking at this one going, okay, how should we price ours? Let's not go overboard, but let's definitely be more expensive. And they were just listed on the 11th of October. So that's our competition. And then we've got this one over here on Dharma. And this one's also a little bit smaller. These are 2,500 square feet versus ours at 2,900. This one on Dharma, another 2-story, 2-car garage. And inside, not fully updated to today's standards, right? So a little bit older, but still very livable, still a nice home. Probably could have taken better pictures on this for sure. But hey, it is what it is. It's just a regular, everyday home, right? And they started at 607, they've dropped down to 600, okay? So now closed, which is what an appraiser would actually use. The stuff that's active right now doesn't really matter because we don't know what it's going to close at the end of the day. It could close for 50 grand less for all we know. But looking at closed properties, we've got this one here on Calkins at 645 is their close price, and they gave 2,000 in seller concessions, so essentially 643. And we look at that one, 2-story, 2-car garage. Inside is fairly modernized, halfway done kitchen, right? So probably 5 to 10-year-old cabinets, countertops, and appliances. The rest of the house looks really nice, though. Well loved, taken care of home. Same with the bathroom here, maybe 10-ish years old or so, but not too shabby. And they closed at 645. So we were being a little bit aggressive on price, but at the time of year, that's what we have to do in order to get these things under contract quickly. This one on Elliott at 640. Did they have any seller concessions? They had 11,000 in seller concessions, so they actually closed at 627-ish. And the inside of this, 2-story, 2-car garage. Inside of it looks decent and a fairly updated kitchen. Quartz countertops. It looks like they painted the cabinets, new appliances, and let's see, a bathroom in here. So they updated it okay, right? They kind of half updated it. And they closed at 640. So we were looking at all that, and we wanted to be a little bit more aggressive because of everything we're all hearing out there. Everything's slowing down just a bit. So we didn't think it was too bad to be at 650, okay? Now, the other one that we had on the market was, let me pull it up here, 8538 Fenton. Okay. Now this one's at 600,000, and this one is in Arvada, so further south of the one in Broomfield by a couple miles. So the one in Broomfield is up here, the one in Arvada is down here. I just had one hit the market 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a little bit further away in this neighborhood. Great neighborhood, great location, 600,000. Now this is 1,500 square feet. And it's a bi-level, and this one is all done up 100%. New windows, new doors, new flooring, new kitchen, walls opened up. Like, it's been done well. It's been done nicely, right? And now this one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Bathrooms are updated nicely. The basement has this kind of bar down here, great for entertaining, great backyard space. Like, this is a nice home. And to look at, what we see as far as comps in this neighborhood, let's go ahead and pull those up. Now, I promise you, I'm getting to the point here. I'm just kind of setting the stage a little bit, okay? It will be worth it because what happened was fairly astounding. So when we look in there, everything active, coming soon, pending, or closed in the last 180 days, single family residence, and we're going to go within the 20% square footage rule here. So we're going to go from about, on the low end, 1,100 square feet to, let's say, 2,000 square feet, okay? So that brings us up 9 properties, and we can see, okay, so this is what's crazy. Otis Court here. They closed at 645, 1,600 square feet. Let's take a look at this thing. Single family, ranch, 2-car garage, and it looks nice on the outside, inside, beautiful fireplace, opened up area, but very comparable finish level to what we have on the market, right? Nice home, okay? They closed at 645, right? Then we've got this one here on Eaton Street at 620,000 closed price. And this one is also a bi-level. It looks like 2-car garage. Looks like it's been fully updated, at least from the outside. Inside looks very familiar. New flooring, opened up kitchen, same white shaker cabinets, quartz countertops. Like, we see the theme here, right? And this one closed at 620. So here's what happened. Basically, the one in Broomfield that we listed at 625 ended up having lots of showings and ended up with a good handful of offers that bid the price up to about 650. Okay. So 4% over asking price, right? It really felt like it was, 9 months ago a little bit, 6 months ago a little bit, but then more like it was like a year and a half ago, right? Before everything started to drop and fall. What else happened is, that was going crazy. And in the meantime, the one in Arvada went live as well over the weekend. It was a ghost town, just totally stunted, no showings whatsoever, not a single showing this weekend. And we're sitting there going, okay, what the heck is, I know we were a little bit aggressive on price on the one in Broomfield, but not by much, maybe 10 to 15,000 tops, right? And it gets bid up like crazy. And then the one in Arvada, which we thought we were pricing aggressively, considering there were 2 others very comparable that sold at $25,000 and $40,000 more than our list price, and it's a ghost town. So what the heck is going on? So we analyzed the difference between these 2 properties, right? And we really had to dig into who the profile buyer was. And I want your feedback here because your opinion matters as much as ours. Yeah, we can find a little bit more on the data side, but it's really anybody's guess, right? And so the only thing we can put together is the one in Arvada is like 1,600 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, 600,000. The one in Broomfield is 3,000 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Okay, so the only thing we can think, and this is what happened to the other property I had in Arvada that was about 3,000 square feet, is that is a move-up buyer home. Okay. 3,000 square feet is someone who's had 1,500 square feet and realizes it's not enough room for their family of 3 or 4. And they want a house that is much larger, twice the size, right? With 4 bedrooms plus and another bathroom and just more space to throw the kids into the basement or upstairs while, you're cleaning the kitchen, right? And making them dinner and serving them, hand over fist. But that's the only thing we can think of is the difference is that the one at 1,600 square feet at 600,000 is a first-time home buyer, and the other one is a move-up buyer. And the offers that did come in for the larger home, just like the one I had in Arvada a couple weeks ago, is that the buyers are putting down a substantial amount of money, 200, 300, 400,000, and taking out loans for 300,000, 400,000, right? And they're trying to keep their mortgage under $3,000 a month. Whereas the first time home buyer homes we've had on the market have struggled quite a bit more, have been quite a bit slower. People are putting the minimum down payments down, and they're still paying $3,000 a month for these homes in that $400,000 to $600,000 range. And so that's the only thing that we can think that's the difference between those two properties. They're both nicely done. They're both in great neighborhoods. Both should have decent showing traffic, but yet it is so night and day difference between these two properties. It's not even funny. Now, on the good news, a few weeks on the market, and even with slower showing traffic, we'll be under a contract on the Arvada one. No big deal. We'll be right around asking price. And we just had some nice leverage on the one in Broomfield. So it's not all doom and gloom out there. It's not all real estate is created equally, and not all statistics are valid for every single neighborhood. Every neighborhood is so different from another neighborhood, and different price points, right? Your prospective buyers. So, out there, if you're out there looking around on the buy side, what's the upside? I think rates will come down in the next year to 2 years, right? It's just going to suck for a little bit in the meantime. If you're on the sell side, it's going to suck to find a replacement home. That's the downside. But if you need to downsize or you need to move up, like sometimes lifestyle just demands it. And if your house is prepared properly, if you're priced properly, things are still selling quickly. So buyers, don't fall asleep on something that you love, right? Because there's a very good chance that someone else loves it too. You got to remember, there are a crap ton of people sitting on the sidelines waiting. And sometimes all it takes is the right property to pop up to pull them off the fences. So that's my report for you. Hope everyone's doing well. If you have any questions, feel free, reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text message anytime, nights, days, weekends. I got you covered. And if you're thinking about moving here, or you live here already and you just want to know more about Denver suburbs, check out this video on Littleton. It's a full vlog tour where I go around neighborhood by neighborhood and breaking everything down, the shopping, the different style of houses, because it is one of my favorite neighborhoods around the Denver area. And until the next time, happy housing.